What's going on, guys? It's Jordan back today with today's first video. And in today's first video, we're going to start with the 4-hour chart and look at what are our first targets and our next targets for Ethereum for this run that we're getting right now. So if that sounds good to you guys and you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to smack that subscribe button down below to not miss any of my content at all. So as we jump right into the 4-hour chart here, as you guys can see, we broke out of this symmetrical triangle yesterday, and now we are seriously pumping up to the upside. You guys can see how many 4-hour consecutive green candles we've gotten to the upside now. When we're right at our measured move breakout, we have this purple line here, which was our measured move from our swing high to our swing low in our symmetrical triangle. We extrapolated it at the point that we broke out. You guys can see we're right at that point right now. So this is my first target, was about the $16.38 level. So it is possible here that we could come back and retest the triangle, right? And that would still be bullish. We could possibly come down all the way minimum to about 1550 and it would still be bullish on the macro, right? And we could just bounce off like that in the short term. But I'm going to look at a couple of the higher targets as well out of this big rising wedge, because this could be an insane move that we haven't even seen for Ethereum in this bull market. We are kind of overbought on the RSI, but we still have room to run. We've gotten higher. We've gotten all the way up to a 93. Right now, we're only at an 83. So we still have some room to run on the 4-hour RSI. But that's basically it on the 4-hour, guys. We're really getting moves up here, and we're already at our measured move. So look at that. This is a possible retest of the wedge, and then a possible move up here. Switching over to the daily, this is where we're going to get a couple of our price targets. So as you guys can see, we have our rising wedge, obviously. On the daily, we're only at a 70 on the RSI. So we got massive room to run on the daily. We've gotten up to a 91 on the daily on the RSI. But as you guys can see from our swing high, I'll redraw it again for you so you guys can see. But our Fibonacci, basically from when we pumped to our swing high to our swing low here, right there, right? You guys can see we're pretty much right at that 1.618 Fibonacci, right? So this could end up being a wick before a retest of the triangle, but that's our first target, that 1.618 here, which right is about 1620, right? And then our next target here is the 2.618 Fibonacci on the daily, and that puts us all the way up here, right here at about $2,043. So that's our next target based on our swing high to our swing low of our first dump in the pump, right? So this is looking extremely bullish, and that's our next target, is 2,043 on the daily. And we'll take a look at our next target after that is 2,477. So you guys know we're in price discovery now. So there's really nothing looking left to base any type of price action on. So really all we have is the Fibonacci and the RSI to tell us what direction we could possibly be going in. Based on this RSI, we still have room to run in the daily. So I believe we're going to continue up here, and that's the next two targets on the daily is 2,043 and 2,477. So mark that, guys, on your charts. And don't miss any updates from me as we continue to go closer to those targets within the next couple of days to weeks, right? So switching over to the weekly, guys, our 20-week EMA is all the way up at 877 or 878. So that is our bull market support. We hold that in a bull market. So if we were to dump for whatever reason, which I don't think we're going to do, that would be our bull market support and our absolute low there. On the weekly RSI, we still are very overbought, right? We did dip a little bit. We're at 89. So we still technically have a little bit more room to run, and we can stay oversold for a massive amount of time, right? We saw it back here. We've seen it multiple times where we can stay overbought for multiple weeks. So that this doesn't necessarily mean anything in a bull market. But we're going to look at our Fibonacci retracements on the weekly as well, so you guys can get really a sense on what our targets are for the longer term, right? So our swing high to our swing low there, right, is right there. Perfect. And then we zoom in. Let's zoom in a little bit here so you guys can get a little bit of a feel of what we have going on here. So basically what we have going on is our last pump was right up to that one on the Fibonacci, right? That was perfect. And then our next target on the weekly time frame, right? So this is a longer time frame. This could take a couple weeks to play out. but it's 2,308 is the 1.618 Fibonacci. So that's my next target on the weekly time frame. And this is talking, you know, a couple weeks to a couple months down the road, possibly, right? This is not going to shoot straight up to here. Definitely could, right? If Bitcoin continues moving up, we're going to see Ethereum continue to move up to that to 1.618 Fibonacci at 2,308. So watch out for that, guys. There's really not much here on the RSI. As you guys can see, we did ignore some bearish, sorry, let me get rid of that. We did ignore some bearish divergence there where we had higher or lower highs on the RSI and we had higher highs in price action. We completely ignored that, right? And we continued up. So that didn't really play out there. But anyways, we want to see us on the RSI, we want to see us get a higher high here on the RSI, which might sound bad, but that would kind of invalidate any type of a bearish divergence on the weekly. So look for the RSI to beat out this trend line here for us to continue on to the upside. But that's the weekly chart for Ethereum. Mark this next target on your charts, 2,308. And obviously our next one at that, I mean, this is looking pretty far into the future, but our 2.618 is at that 3,706 mark. So make sure you guys mark that on your charts, right? So moving on to the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, we still got some room to run on this. So Ethereum could still outpace Bitcoin in the short term. You guys know we did what was extremely bullish on the ratio. We pumped up. It's not really obvious on the weekly, but we did have a inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily, and that pushed us up, right? You guys can see from our neckline to our bottom of our head. Extrapolate that at the neckline, we hit our target perfectly, right? That's perfect. And then we pulled back. We retested our old resistance as new support there, and now we're continuing on up. And I think our next target obviously is the top of this rising channel here. So we can see if we can break this rising channel. I'm going to extend this out. I feel like I have to extend this out so often because time just goes by so fast right now in 2020 and 2021. But if we do break this trend line, we're going to see absolute fireworks for Ethereum. So make sure you guys are watching the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. I know a lot of you guys probably don't look at the ratio charts, but this one is big. Like if we can break this trend line, we're really going to be going for Ethereum, right? But we could just get rejected there, and that could be the signal for Bitcoin to break 40K, and then it starts its next run, right? And Ethereum bleeds on Bitcoin, and then we just kind of do it like that throughout the whole year. That's definitely what could happen, right? Just a back and forth between Ethereum making its run and Bitcoin making its run. We've seen it all the way since August of 2019, right? Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So who knows that if that trend is just going to continue. So, but that's the quick video on Ethereum today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously, we already hit our measured move for the 4 hour. Just to give you a synopsis, our next measured move on the daily is that 2,043 mark. So watch that within the next couple weeks for us to get up there. If it even takes a couple weeks, but I definitely think we're going up there at some point. Whether we get a quick retest of the triangle and we drop back down to 1550 and then continue up, don't let that shake you out. That's just a classic retest of support, of old resistance into new support before we continue up. So like I said, guys, you guys are new to the channel and really enjoyed today's content. Smack that subscribe button down below. Appreciate all you newcomers coming on to the channel here. And I will be working on that second video today. Haven't decided what coin it's going to be on, but that'll be a surprise for you within the next couple, about probably an hour or two after this video is up. So I'll see you guys in that next video.